Hello, everyone. Happy weekend. Hope you're all having a fantastic weekend wherever you are in the world. Appreciate you for being here. Please do hit that thumbs up button and subscribe button. Got a few interesting things to get into today. Let's see who is in the chat. Hey, Carol, Eco Girl, Louise, Gwendolyn. Hey, Fancy, Peach Rose, Lottie, Kathy. Love seeing the usuals. Hey, Veronica. Hey, Benjamin. Maggie. Nobody. Hello. Hey, Heather. All right. Let's get straight into it. First of all right, just to follow on from this whole Prince Andrew thing, would like to clarify again, in case you weren't in the podcast yesterday and in case you feel misinformed by what the media are saying. We do know that the Royal Rotarats and media people do have a group chat and they are fed a narrative. Just to be clear, Prince Andrew, actually, do you know what? I'm actually never going to call him Prince again. I don't care if he's a birth prince. I'm just going to call him Andrew or Randy Andy or Randy the idiot or something. I'm never referring to him in a royal manner ever again. But he is still, by the line of succession, in line to the throne, and he still has his titles, including the Duke of York. What was put in that statement in a very sly and clever way is that he will no longer use those titles. And he still very much receives all of the protections and privileges that young women like Virginia Giuffre, when she was taken advantage of, never received. Now, why is all of this happening? Well, it would appear, I think a lot of it is just to do with Virginia Giuffre's book. Several media outlets have begun, writing commentary on the book. I think either New York Post or New York Times, one of them, was given the book to read in advance. And some of the stuff that is coming out is absolutely damning. Major trigger warning if you choose to read that book, just based on the small snippets and details that I've seen other people writing about it. I will not be reading that book. Especially for someone that's quite sensitive to the issue of SA, or you just get, raging mad whenever you hear about the injustices of women and girls. Just a trigger warning. It's clearly a very difficult read. Wouldn't have expected it to be anything else. I'm glad that Virginia's voice is finally free in the pages of her book, but it's sad that she, left this earth, never got justice, never got peace. And it's also becoming more obvious from what's written in the book that actually her abuse started at a very young age with family members. And so a lot of the times when women and girls get caught up in things like trafficking and taken advantage of, there is, usually a history of neglect that starts in the home. And it, from what's written in the book, that actually started with her father. So, we need to protect our young people, and we also need to teach our young people that they are worthy, and that no one should ever be taken advantage of like this. And what's obvious in the book is that this was clearly more than, just Epstein. Though it was a whole network. Epstein is really just the tip of the iceberg, and in some ways has actually just kind of become a bit of a distraction because we're not saying anybody else's name, and there's clearly hundreds and hundreds of names that need to be named. Virginia Giuffre also talks in her book, from the snippets that I've read, about a former prime minister who abused her. Now, she doesn't name who this person is. She doesn't even say the country, although it would appear that whoever it was, this person would still be alive. She didn't name them because she feared that they may come after her. Now, if you're looking at British prime ministers, that time frame, who we're looking at, like John Major, Margaret Thatcher, like within that time frame. There's some suggestions that it could be a certain Canadian PM, or there's all sorts of suggestions, but clearly this is a girl that was taken advantage of by many people, and not just Andrew and Epstein and Gleim as well. Now, it's not new news about Virginia Giuffre and Andrew. So for them to be doing all this title nonsense at this time, it feels like a knee-jerk reaction. And again, titles can only be removed via an act of parliament. Even the monarch cannot take away titles. What's even more ridiculous about this is how now this is trying to be spun in relation to the royal family and who was responsible for this big fat nothing burger. William, it seems, is trying to take the credit. Channel 4 had it in all of their reports that it's William that led the way for discussions about Andrew, and now in other outlets as well. I think this is from the Mirror. This was the headline: Prince William helped finally push Andrew out after huge Epstein lie exposed. Royal editor Russell Myers writes that several high-profile meetings between the King, Prince William, and their most senior officials took place to finally force Andrew out. That's what they're telling us. Now, we're smart individuals, so what does that actually mean? Translated, Prince William wants credit for Prince Andrew saying words that mean nothing. Royal sycophant Russell Myers showing once again that Prince William will always find a way to center himself, even in the farce that is our claim that Prince Andrew doing what he's been doing is new or news. Exactly what they said, what we heard and know to be the truth. Is another example. You can just tell that all of the outlets are getting the same script. Times Radio, it's a little bit of smoke and mirrors. Prince Andrew lost his titles over his Epstein ties, but it was William and the government, not King, who pushed for it. Oh, it was William. What we heard, it's all smokes and mirrors. Prince Andrew hasn't lost anything. Prince William didn't do ish, and the government wasn't involved, and I'm paid to kiss William's ass, says KP's newest shill, Andrew Loney. This exactly. I don't know. I don't know when this world will get itself together so that we don't even have to be having conversations like this. You just have a bunch of people who have too much control and are out of control with that control. And they think that they can do anything, take advantage of anyone, no matter how young or vulnerable. Let's go to your comments and then we'll get on to the next thing. I'm just so glad, once again, though, that Harry and Meghan are out of the way, because we know they'd be using this and using Harry and Meghan as a scapegoat again. Kat Harlem, thank you for the super chat. You said, hello, Anna Scotties, hello to you too. Virginia was never protected. Her story is so sad. It's more than sad. It's so tragic. And I think what's even sadder is Virginia's story is the story that we know. There are so many Virginias. So many. Let's have a look. Yeah, look, it's very sad that he was allowed to get away with this. Very, very sad. Leslie said Meghan needs to wake up and start suing these people. Seriously, put them in their place. And if there's enough already, they're ruining your reputation, your life, and get away with it. Listen, when it comes to these things, I think at this point, I've just accepted that Harry and Meghan are going to choose their battles, and they have the right to do that. And they choose their battles wisely. Not every battle is worth fighting and using your energy for. If Harry and Meghan were going to sue everyone, baby, it would just be too much. And that's a very, very sad reflection, I think, of the state of affairs, especially when it comes to media and the way that they can lie and not face consequences. But that's where we are right now. Harry and Meghan would be suing 10 people each day. Very annoying, but just let them choose their battles, because they win 99% of the time. They win every single one that they choose. All right, on to the next thing. 2 adulterers are going to visit the Pope. Now, I know this Pope wanted to be modern and everything, but I think we need to maybe just go back to the good old days. Oh dear. I'm sure Camilla has her finest bird hat ready. Now, of course, we've recently got a new Pope, Pope Leo. There he is. So Pope Leo, aka Pope Bob, has been making some interesting moves since he became the first ever American-born Pope. Did you know that Pope Bob is a Virgo? His birthday is September 14th, one day before Harry's birthday. Well, Bob will meet with Harry's father next week in what sounds like a major movement for the Anglican Church, Church of England, and the papacy. Charles is set to make history during his state visit to the Vatican, becoming the first British monarch since the Reformation to pray at a public service with the Pope. The Supreme Governor of the Church of England will join the Pope Leo, head of the Catholic Church, to pray during a service in the famous Sistine Chapel, a symbolic moment of their continuing dialogue between the two churches. So this is going to be a 2-day visit. This will be the first state visit since the Reformation where the Pope and the monarch will pray together. Charles is also being recognized for the British monarchy's historic association with the Papal Basilica of St. Paul's outside the walls in Rome. King Henry VIII famously broke ties with Rome and established the Church of England, and during the following centuries, relations between the English state and the papacy were marked by mutual distrust, said a Church of England spokesperson. Now, of course, when Henry VIII wanted to divorce and the Vatican wouldn't let him, that's what's going on said. Henry VIII also wanted the Catholic Church land in England, which was a huge bonus of breaking with the church. Anyway, I find it interesting that they're making this all about Charles and Bob, even though Camilla will apparently be there too. Charles and Camilla have been divorced. They're both adulterers and neither have lived a decent family-orientated or faithful life. But Charles really wants to cozy up to the Vatican for some reason. He's always been like this. Yes, rather interesting. That should be an absolute laugh. I'm hoping that, karma or God, whoever wants to do it, just send a big old gust of wind Camilla's way and her hat goes flying off or something. Or we just get something funny from this trip, please. If we're gonna have to witness this, give us something funny, like somebody slipping a banana or something. I have actually visited the Vatican. Very interesting. For some people, controversial, but yeah, I don't think I've ever seen such intricate designs in a church. Like there were parts of it was like gold gilded. The Sistine Chapel, the ceiling, the way it's painted. Yeah, definitely worth visiting if you're in Rome. Definitely worth visiting. And also obviously St. Paul's Basilica as well. Very interesting to see it in person, having seen it, well, just seen it on the TV, really, my whole life. Lydia, you said, shame on them all. More disgrace is coming. This is long overdue. They were covering Andrew and went after Harry and Meghan. Indeed. Harry and Meghan were used as shields, especially Meghan. And somehow people actually convinced themselves that Meghan was the villain. It's all going to come back to them, and I hope it does. 10 times over. Thank you so much, Lydia Barber, for the super sticker. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Appreciate you. Benjamin, it feels like their last visit with Pope Francis was just yesterday. Yeah, they really do seem to want to get cozy. I feel like they're getting more out of these visits than we know. That's kind of what it seems like. Kenneth, you said Charles and Camilla can pray all they like. The Pope cannot forgive sin, and both of them continue living adulterous lives. I mean, Camilla will probably combust sitting in that chapel. Okay. Next thing. Oh yes, this interesting story about Meghan and this charity. This came across my feed, and I was just like, "What is this nonsense? What is this nonsense?" Let's have a look at this. So this is from Feminagro, who are amazing. Make sure you go and follow them. So the Times targets Meghan Sussex in a false charity scandal. So when the Times published its piece called Charity Represented by Meghan Accused of Racism and Sexism, readers could be forgiven for thinking the Duchess of Sussex was implicated in wrongdoing. In reality, Meghan Sussex has no connection to World Vision UK, the branch at the centre of the claims. Her ambassadorial work with World Vision Canada ended in 2017, months before she joined the royal family. The difference is crucial, yet it was ignored. Now, first of all, I mean, the fact that they would even try to link her back to this, but if the charity was accused of racism and sexism, I mean, is that not what Meghan herself faces every single day? And you'll deny that it doesn't happen? And would she be the one responsible for that if it happened and she was still there? No. And I'm pretty sure she would be, very disgusted if that did happen, and probably have something to say about it, given it's something that she experiences. So I don't even know where they were trying to come at with this article. The article frames Meghan as an active participant in a scandal that has nothing to do with her. It uses her name to sell a story about workplace complaints within an entirely separate organization. That omission is not accidental. I mean, something like this might actually be worth suing for. It is part of a long-running British media tactic, attach Meghan to negativity to guarantee engagement. The Times has since added a brief note claiming to make clear that the Duchess of Sussex worked with World Vision from 2016 to 17. However, that clarification omits the crucial fact that Meghan's role was with World Vision Canada, not the UK branch, now under scrutiny. The distinction, easily verified with a simple online search, was ignored in both the headline and the original text. The correction does little to undo the misleading framing that initially linked her to the UK-based controversy. What Meghan actually did. Before her marriage, Meghan worked with World Vision Canada, emphasis on Canada. The focus was on access to clean water and girls' education. She visited Rwanda and India to support humanitarian programs and stepped down from the organization in late 2017. Her role ended before she became a working royal. World Vision operates through national branches, each with independent governance and leadership. World Vision's UK internal issues are its own, yet the Times blurred this distinction to imply continuity between Meghan's advocacy and a UK charity under assessment. This kind of distortion creates confusion while tarnishing a reputation that has already endured years of media hostility. The facts are simple. Meghan has not worked with World Vision in 8 years, and she was never linked to the British branch. But accuracy was secondary to the headline's shock value. The piece reads as an effort to undermine Meghan's credibility in humanitarianism. Oh gosh, what's new? Precisely at a time when her global influence continues to grow. Yes. And that's partly why they're doing this. You best believe that the month of October has them shooketh. Same strategy, same BS. Oh well. Didn't stop us having a jaw drop moment at Fashion Week, did it? Thank you so much, Lottie, for the super sticker. Much, 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 much appreciated. All right, folks. Gonna end with your comment and a little bit of a ha-ha. Did y'all know that Candace Owens has now been banned also from Australia? She was banned from New Zealand. Candace Owens is a Meghan hater. Nobody wants to hear what she has to say. I find it very interesting that Candace Owens seems to be doing more investigation into the assassination of that podcaster, that dead podcaster, than his own wife. His wife seems to have healed faster from her husband's assassination than Donald Trump's right ear cartilage. Very strange times we're living in. Anyway, I had to laugh at this just because Candace is a Meghan hater. And she continues to get her karma. Right. That is going to be all from me today, folks. Please do not forget that tomorrow is going to be a very, very fun day. We have Brian from Sussex Squad Family TV. And he will be on. And that is going to be such a fun podcast. Kevin Sims, you said, but the Queen's cousin, sister's best friend's babysitter said the Queen hated Meghan. Oh, Kevin Sims, you made me laugh. Yeah, the Queen's cousin's sister's baby's best friend, babysitter, dog walkers, cat groomers, pet flea said that the Queen hated Meghan. That's literally what they sound like with their headlines. Oh, Kevin Sims, thank you for making us laugh. Kenneth, if Meghan takes anyone to court, she will have to attend UK court. That's another thing, you know. And I do feel that a lot of this bullying partly is to kind of goad Harry and Meghan into doing, you know, court cases so that they can get more headlines and potentially have Meghan come to the UK. Because Meghan coming to the UK for days, if not weeks, for a court case, heck, they'll probably make more money from that than they'd have to pay out to the court case. Oh, jeez. Jeez. All right. That will... Oh, what time tomorrow? 6 p.m. UK time. It's scheduled already. All right, folks, have a good evening. Thank you, everyone, for your super chats and donations. You can donate also through Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal if you would like. See you tomorrow, folks. Ciao.